my nightmare.
All right, what's up, my fellow spooky folks? It's the scary movie nerd himself, Troy D. Ryan, the man of horror. And yeah, this is Man of Horror. Welcome back. Um, Really quick before I start the show, I just want to shout out. I'm pretty sure I said it at the end of the last episode, but I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna keep saying it probably every episode until the contest is over. I am a part of the Face of Horror contest again, and I mean, really, I am the face of horror. So voting opens up on September 5th at 10 a.m. And I'll definitely remind you guys. So let's take that shit home. Now, today I wanted to do a double review of I Know What You Did Last Summer and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Super dope, classic, fun ass 90s slasher teen films that if you haven't seen by now, you either live under a rock or, honestly, the older I get, I have come across people who had like super fucking religious parents and families. So there's a small chance that you could be one of those people, and that's why you didn't see it. But if that's not the reason, and you didn't live under a rock, you fucking suck. Cause like, where the fuck have you been? But yeah, so we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna share another segment of This Week in Horror, and then I'm actually gonna share another list. I haven't shared a list in a while, but I think we're gonna save that for the end of the episode and just dive into the review. Let's get it.
I'll kill you all. I'm every nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
Okay, so starting off, we're gonna get started with I Know What You Did Last Summer. And I just finished watching it too. It's okay. I kind of slightly talk shit about it. Maybe some point, actually around this time, some point last year. Um, just because I guess I was a little spoiled, so I had to rewatch, and it's definitely still the classic that it originally was. I guess I just had a moment in between in the film that was annoying me because I recognized there was like a good 40 minutes of like just taunting, and it was slightly annoying, but when I look at it from a psychological horror aspect, it works. So I had to step outside of my, I guess, slasher brain to appreciate I Know What You Did Last Summer a lot better. And I was just being a fucking horror snob last summer, so whatever. It happens. But yeah, so I want to start off by saying, um, I love Scary Movie fucked up certain movies for me, and it definitely fucked up I Know What You Did Last Summer for me. Like the beginning scene, right? Like I love um well, I guess not necessarily the full beginning. Yeah, the full beginning. So like the first like 20 minutes. Um I love, the introductions to the characters and their life because it like really builds up. Like we get to know all their personalities and their plans after school. So it brought us to a place of actually giving a fuck about the people we were watching within like the first 15 minutes. And then why I brought up Scary Movie is like, once they hit him and everything, from the moment that happens, all I can see is is Scary Movie. So when Sarah Michelle Gellar's character like grabs the boot, um, or well, I don't see, and that's what's so funny because I don't even recall if she actually did that or if she just said, "Oh my god," but. Either way, that's what I saw in my head was Homegirl Shannon Elizabeth and Scary Movie grabbing the boot like, "Oh my god, we hit a boot!" Like, so I had to like really force myself to see the movie and not see Scary Movie. Um, but yeah, like premise wise though, getting you know getting older, whatever, and having lived life and experienced a lot of life, it happens unfortunately, and there are those drunk nights where it's not always the driver; it's the other people in the car, but nevertheless, it's a drunk ass night, young, wild, free. And all I could think of is, what if this happened to me and my friends? Like, what would we have done? What what course of action would we have followed the same thing, you know? And then that led me to the other half of like them splitting up, you know, and not talking anymore. But I have to say it's hilarious the part where he's like choking her, like, you know, say it, take it to your fucking grave. And Ray is like, he's literally standing there like, stop it, Barry. Get him off of your fucking girlfriend. What are you doing? Like, yo, what? And again, immediately, my mind went to Scary Movie. And he's just like tapping him on the back, like, hey man, stop, you're hurting her. So yeah. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into some more of the movie itself. Obviously the acting, I have to shout that out too. The acting is on point. Like, I think this was all of their first scary movies or movie, whatever, and killed it. Every single one. Ryan Phillippe, like, you know, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and I don't know if it's because of the Ray character, but there was a lot of slightly annoying parts, and it gets more annoying. And I still know she did last summer. I'll mention that later. But it's just like, and I think this, like, it reminds me of Dewey in Scream. Like, there was like this thing of like almost trying to replicate Scream, which you can definitely feel here. And I mean, obviously it's written by Kevin Williamson, so clearly, you know, he was in his 90s teen slashery bag. But what was annoying was there's like this overwhelming presence of this bumbling final boy who is supposed to be the hero, and he can barely fucking walk upright. Like, you know, like, I don't know. It's just, it's annoying. But again, amazing acting. And like I said, I was able to accept the middle half of the movie a little bit better. And so it made me think about, right, when they kill Max, for what? And it's funny because if I'm not mistaken, and I could be thinking about another movie, but if I'm not mistaken, they literally threw that kill in because there was like 45 minutes without a kill. And this, again, is intended to be a slasher. You know, you look up 90s slashers, this comes up. So for pacing wise, they threw that kill in there. But then I was like thinking about it, like, okay, well, what does that actually have to do with the story? And his body comes back up later in the car, you know, when Julie does one of my favorite fucking scenes. What are you waiting for, huh? Like, so I can't imagine he had that planned already, right? Or maybe he did. I mean, this is a fucking year later. He probably exactly planned that. So I don't know. I think one of the things that I didn't like though was there, and it reminded me of that that time of like propaganda of like needing to have everything figured out by like 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a part where Julie is like looking for her friend and Helen, and she, you know, was supposed to be in New York and be an actress. This is a year later. She said, oh, it didn't work out. You're 18, 19? What do you mean it didn't work out? You're like 19. And it's like, this is like now her life. Like, you know, oh, I'm just going to work at this store now. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, it's that weird propaganda of like, have it all figured out once you get out of high school or else. And I used to hate shit like that. Like, well, so I used to give into it, but now I hate shit like that because it's just like, that's just not realistic at all. At least not for our generation or the generations after us, you know? I want to say also, I was slightly at the complete distance of I guess I get it because, in a sense, every time we saw each other, they were reminded of their own choices and what they did. But if anything, being together would help y'all get to that, right? Like,
You are all
I don't think I would stop fucking
You
with my
want to
friends,
know what
but
happens to
you
an
never know. I mean,
eyeball
hopefully I
when
don't
it
have to
gets
find out.
punctured?
But yeah,
You got any idea how much blood jets out of a guy's
I think I
neck
said this
when
one
his
before,
throat's been slit?
When
but
there's no
shout
more
out to
room in
Sarah
hell,
fucking Michelle
the dead
Gellar because
will
this
walk
movie
here.
has one of the best torture scenes ever, and I dare anybody to fucking refute that. You know, from the moment she screams to try to get help for Barry, to Like it just go, you know, the car with the police officer breaking the window to climb out of it, running to her sister's store, um, jumping in the elevator, like jumping out of a fucking window, running through an alley. Like it was, it's amazing. It has everything. It has the perfect amount of suspense, and the more she makes it, the more you root. So that's what makes the moment she got killed. Oh, that shit is literally heartbreaking because she was right there. All I can think is, bitch, don't turn around. Every time I see it, I'm like, please, don't you fucking, cause why? What did you, at this point, just keep it moving. Like, oh, my heart. God damn it. But, yeah, and I have to say, and I love the endings of both of them, too. I'll say that part. But I love the ending here. Super suspenseful, fun. You know, it's all cutesy. She's all on the phone. Hey, it's Ray, ha ha. And then, you know, letter, scary ass letter with this similar writing, but it's nothing. And now all of a sudden the bathroom was like super fucking fogged up. And yeah, the ending really worked out for me. I liked it. I do have to also point out what I liked too, as far as like the taunting, because again, it was very hard for me to look at this as a straight slasher, and it's not. So, you know, hopped out of that. And looking at the psychological aspect, the Barry scene at the gym, that was actually, rewatching it, I really like that. It was annoying before because I'm like, okay, why did he just fucking kill him? But it's like clearly he's playing with them, you know. It's just to remind y'all that I can do this at any time, and when I want to, I'm going to, you know. And that's just like, oh shit. And they say it. They have a conversation about it. It's just one of those things that I think sometimes you're so into, um, the film from your own perspective that you're not checking your perspective in the sense of like, okay, wait, you know, seeing what's in plain sight kind of thing. But either way, amazing film, super fun. If you have not seen it, what the fuck are you doing? I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Um, and the first one is for watchability and, you know, story creativity, because it is, I think, if I'm not mistaken though, it is essentially based on the idea of a book. I just don't remember the title of the book at the moment, but still, creative. And like, I don't even know if they wrote that chase scene, but I can't even fathom writing that down. Like how do you, whatever. Anyway, um, the second star I'm gonna give it is for Killer Fear Factor, because I still remember being a kid when I first saw this. This shit was very terrifying. You know, the hook, the fisherman jacket and everything. Like that shit is, yeah, that's a fucking look that if I saw somebody coming down the street, I am going the entire fucking way, like other way. You know, like fuck that. You know. And the last one I actually wanted to give it was cinematography, because there's some really good shots in this. Um, I wouldn't say it's necessarily known for that, but yeah, there's some shots in here that are really fire. Like specifically, the one that comes to mind is again with the chase scene. There's a part where she's running down the alley, and there's like a shot of like her shadow in the distance that's like reflected onto like this garage or something, and then you see him coming behind it like in this super fucking fast Michael Myers ass walk. And then that's what fucks with me too, because he wasn't Michael Myers or Jason. Why did he just fucking chase after these motherfuckers? It was just like, I guess, you know, again, story, scary movies, you know, that's the thing. But there were several times if he had just ran, he could have totally fucking and the movie would have been over. Yeah.
Whatever it is that gives the dead the appearance of life.
No, it is not the appearance of life. It is life. This is not magic. As you say, I am a scientist.
All right, all right. Now let's go ahead and get into I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. This one, It's so funny because I teeter between which of the two is my favorite because it genuinely switches and changes. Um, I'll say this one I have more fun with the concept, the idea, the cast. I want to start with opening. The opening was great. And Jennifer Love Hewitt just looks gorgeous in this movie. But the opening was really done really well. It was a pretty fun jump scare. Uh, what annoyed me was how Ray was acting in the beginning of this film. Because he's like getting ready to propose, and I guess that's the thing, sometimes when a guy is thinking about proposing, they get really fucking weird, and he was just pissing me off, like, ugh. But yeah, this one is really fun, and I thought about because again, relation, like what I've been doing now as I get older, because I'm also trying to work on my writing, is being in the film, being in the book, and what I would do in this situation. And I've been on vacations. I recently went to Mexico last year. And so I thought, what if me and my friends, because what happens here is they're stranded on a fucking island during a hurricane season with bodies just piling up. So it's like, it's already scary. One, there's a slight anxiety, I think. And people don't necessarily need to acknowledge that or probably want to. Nobody wants to. But I think it's normal that anytime you go out of town or cross country, whatever, oh shit, new place, Now imagine getting in trouble in that new place, but at least you can go home. Now imagine getting in trouble and you stranded. Like, it's just like all these layers that I could imagine. Like, it instantly got terrifying for me, instantly, once I put myself in their shoes. Shout out to Brandy, because love her, first off, but love her character, and I love that, I know her mom and dad, like her marriage and all. I know the Norwoods had something to do with like bringing. I know she did last summer to an episode of Moesha, which is like one of my favorite episodes. Season 4, I think episode 6, maybe. And it's called I Know What You Did in Third Grade. So definitely check that one out. But yeah, I remember the marketing of this, and it was done really, really well. And that was one of the things that they did. They had Jennifer Love Hewitt on an episode of Boy Meets World. Like, they were not playing. Like, they were making rounds for this one. Like, I can't imagine that this one didn't make way more money than the first one. But yeah, so getting more into it as well. It's really fun. Jack Black's character was annoying as fuck. Too random, and I wonder if he ever thinks about that character. I mean, he's done so much since then, but like, I wonder if he ever thinks about that or has seen it recently. It's just like, what the fuck were my choices? Because what the fuck were his choices? Like, sure, the Will character, I think they did that well. I think they concealed him being a part of everything really fucking well, because I didn't notice. There was no hint to it, because he was there from the start. Nice, cool, and like this, just like the cool kid. The lovesick puppy for Julie, obviously, but like, there was nothing that necessarily seemed, and definitely anybody who can point it out or pick up on it, definitely let me know where I missed it. But from what I can recall and tell, there was nothing that necessarily pointed to him. So I think they did, like I said, they did that really fucking good. I love the other cast, like the bartender girl Nancy, she was fun. The fucking asshole manager guy, I wish that we could have seen his death. That, like, I can see, like, instead of them coming across his fucking body, like, that would have been nice to see, just because he's an asshole. So it's like, you root for that. But I think the thing with this one was they were trying to show more of the, I guess, important deaths, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but I just wish you could have saw that one. That one would have made sense, because hated character. But I love. That was what I was gonna say. This one actually, they kept up with the fire chase scenes, because nothing is gonna beat Helen's chase scene in the first one, but Brandy's chase scene in this one, Oh, but like, well, first of all, it wasn't just her chasing. It was like Nancy, Julie, and her. Um, but essentially, she was the one who fell and all that shit, and it just goes on, and you're just like, fuck, just get away, please. Like, um, Mekhi Phifer's character, he's really fucking fun too in this one. Like, I crack up on like so much of his lines. Um, yeah, it's that's the most that I can really. I mean, not the most that I can say. It's a good movie, but I had more fun with this one. The first one, there was no, and it's not in a bad way. The first one, there's just no fun. It's like the joy was like, and I think that was the point, because in the beginning it was like the beginning of I Know What You Did Last Summer, fun. It's cute, like I said, life, teenagers, love, all that, and then it just gets dark, and there's no smiles, no jokes or anything. And so with this one, there was a lot more of that until it wasn't. But again, I had a lot of fun with it. Ray's character that's what I wanted to bring up. He was more, and I said he was more annoying, but he was also still more like, I don't know, it's like this like bewilderment to his character that's so weird. Like, he's just so like surprised at everything. And it was a little uneven in this one because there were moments where he was stern, like when he goes to the pawn shop and it's like, give me, a gun or whatever for this ring, and then gets the boat and it's like, I ain't asking for your boat, I'm telling you, like, I'm about to fly out. Just like he had some very stern moments, but there was other times where he was just like lost in headlights or something. I don't know. Yeah, so this one though, I gave it. Oh, and I have to shout out to. I also love, because I didn't mention, the part of why they're stranded, the fucking hurricane, because that adds another layer. I've never been in that. That steps away from the killer themselves, and this fucking island could be wiped out. Like, it's just so many layers to the danger that's going on. So yeah, I gave it 3 stars, 1 for watchability and story creativity, because again, I honestly think you will have a good time watching I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. You can't help but to. And again, creative. Kill count was another one because they completely upped. Because I think in the first one, there's honestly maybe 4 kills, which now I'm looking back is a little bit more than I thought. But is that enough to get kill count? No. So with this one, there was this like there were like the deaths were racking up in this one, like consistently. It's like from the moment they get to not even the moment they get to the island, because I forgot Ray's friend. He's like the first death, and from that moment they're just racking up. So definitely this one gets kill count, and then the last one is gore, and I struggled with that one slightly. Because when I think of gore, I think of, at this point, we're so fucking spoiled. Like, I think of Hostel and, kind of a Holocaust and Green Inferno, things like that. But this was gore at that time, you know what I'm saying? All the blood and just all the consistent fucking stabbings. Like, I think one of my favorite, the amount of times he stabbed people through the mouth or through the throat. Like, one of my favorite deaths is Mekhi Phifer's death when he's just like, I haven't seen one fucking psycho killer, and then in that moment, because how the fuck did he get in that kitchen? Like, that's the thing too. It was really good That's the annoying part with this movie. Now I'm recalling, it had really good moments, but some of it just didn't actually make sense. But you're so in the movie or in the moment and having so much fun that you don't think about that until after, like, hey, wait, okay, so how did he get in there? When did he get in there? He's just been waiting in there? Like, he's been waiting in the fucking chimney? Like, what? But yeah, still super fun, super enjoyable. So if you have not seen either of them, again, you totally fucking suck. And slight spoiler alerts, I know, but trust me, you still totally enjoy by like watching both of them. So do that.
We'll tear your soul apart.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and get into this week in horror. Now, I don't know if you guys heard or if you have watched American Horror Stories. This is the side anthology series that Ryan Murphy released, which every episode is different. And so far, I believe there's maybe 2 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, that have connected to the bigger American Horror Story universe. But essentially, it's all completely standalone stories. And they announced this week that there will be a 4-episode Hulu Halloween or Halloween event that is going to be premiering Thursday, October 26th. So it's going to be exclusively on Hulu. And again, if you haven't seen, it's 2 seasons and there's a couple episodes that are like A+. Like Ryan Murphy, he can miss, but I'll say he definitely does know how to hit. and American Horror Stories definitely has some hits. So if you haven't seen it, again, it's on Hulu, and look out October 26th for episode Halloween event. So I'm excited. Cannot fucking wait. All right, as always, folks, I appreciate y'all for listening. Don't forget to follow the official Instagram page for the pod, Man of Horror _podcast. And until next time, stay spooky, folks. Peace.